welcome back to the Far Q.
Season 1 review.
We are jumping into episode 17 with Rose Marsters.
Love you.
Love you, like legit love you. Rose talked to us about her journey through surviving cancer, her Cook Island community, and her tūpuna community as well.
Mm-hmm. And Rose blows our minds with this educational moment from her research about the relevance of the heart work in this beautiful share.
A Ngaakauologist.
Everyone, can you just please explain what that means for anyone who's new to the term Ngaakauologist?
Someone who uses their heart to facilitate their words, their lived experience and their practice and their service to others.
Beautiful. Rose then reminds us that growth and change is and should be normal in this next golden nugget.
Because I think about my growth alongside Joe, and he's not the same person I met a few years ago.
Thank God.
I know.
Thank goodness, right?
I know. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Rose then sums up the power of truth-telling and how it vibrates change through the world once planted in the soils of our ears in this beautiful share.
And I call that a gift to the world. When somebody shares their voice and their truth, it allows us to sort of reflect and position where we see ourselves in the world.
What's the koha that's landing in your fields at the moment?
I think for me, like, it's that growth with people and supporting that. Because, like she said, like, she's seen the growth that you have had over the time that she's known you. And I have seen the growth that you've had over the time that I have known you. And I am so, like, grateful that I can see that growth, because that means that you're exploring the world and you're navigating the world and you're finding not your place, because I don't think anyone has a place in the world, but like coming into your own and whatever that looks like and shifts like and looks like for you right now. I'm just, pretty blessed that I get to see that. Yeah. Because I love you, but if you were the same person now that you were all those years ago when we met, I don't want to hang out with people that don't evolve.
How does that feel to say?
Great. I think a couple of years ago I would have been like, I don't know, people are people, or like something along the lines of like, they're all on their, well, yeah, everyone is on their own journey, but like, and this is another piece that Rose says in her, like she has this kind of thought in a piece throughout her episode of like, without evolution, wouldn't that just be so boring? Because you already, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think evolution of self, because it's your own evolution, it's not one that I'm like projecting onto you. It's just what I can see with my own eyes of the development that you've had in yourself and in your beliefs and in your values over that time. And I'm just so blessed that I get to see that, and that, as my friend, that you are getting to have those experiences. That seemed like a really long way to say you're pretty fucking cool.
I love the reframe as well. Like, I'm here for the reframe.
Yeah, but it's true. It's like, I don't want to hang out with people that don't evolve, because it means that they're not like working on themselves and they're just happy, just chilling. Yeah. Which is fine sometimes, but not for the amount of time that we've known each other. Yeah. You can chill for like a couple of weeks. And then you better start growing. Yeah. What about for you? What does this bring up for you? Or what I have said about you bring up for you? Because it's definitely my view on you.
No, like, so when you're talking, it's like, do you remember when I was playing with the toy, like, I've got a broken ego?
No.
Oh,
When was
I
this?
must have been saying it around different spaces and places, but it's like, so it's not, there's no but to it. The end is, there would have been a time when Maluseo would have been so happy to hear all of those words and feel so seen and feel so validated. And I'd say that I don't feel any of those things. It would have gone that straight to ego of being like, I got here by myself. I did everything here by myself.
Yep.
Like I like Kelsey, you talking to the right motherfucking one.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now it's like I hear all of that and I'm so grateful for all of those things, and I also know where it goes. In terms of being like, yeah, my people worked hard for that.
Yeah.
I worked hard for that.
100%. Yeah.
Like, and me as the represent, like, and I like we don't need to mansplain that shit, but like you know, and that's like that's probably the most beautiful thing, and like that's the most like I would boast on that on any second, like in any second of the day, I would boast on that like me doing the work, being here, like, and witnessing you and your gifts, and then allowing me to be a part of that journey as well. Like, to me, I feel like the easy part is to actually look at all of this and then be like, Joe's pretty smart. And it's like, yeah, he's smart, but he is also a part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And Kelsey's like, yeah, I feel like I have a whole list of things that I'm so forever grateful for, and the one that's coming up to me most now is actually that you are a Ngaakauologist, like that you lead with your heart, you facilitate hard conversations, and you definitely consider the voices that you spell out into this world, and that to me is like heart work 101. And there's people that are born heart-led, and then there's people that are nurtured heart-led, and there's people that are traumatized into heart-led approaches. And those are just three nuances of like a plethora of approaches towards heart-led, like anything. And to me, when we like when Rose is about like when she introduced Ngaakauology to me, I was like, I kind of felt seen.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a vulnerable space because I'm like, there was like, I went through this like almost this funeral of being like, that's what it is. That's why I care.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
That's why I am emotional. That's why things hit me harder than other things. And I'm at a point now where instead of letting it like I would wallow in it, because the places I would be in, the heart space is not supported. So it would actually disempower me and make me feel weak, or make me feel invalidated, or make me feel crippled. Now it's like, okay, cool. That's not willing to actually host the ocean of love I have.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm still Po to me. And that inner realization is something that I feel like I am still so amazed that I'm able to be walking in this space where I always feel like not egotistical at all. I always feel like the man. I always feel like the woman. I always feel like my best self. And I can confidently say that every day, every second, being like, this is who I am and this is who I'm showing up as, because I know my heart. I can't speak for everybody else, and I won't, because it's detrimental to my growth, I've discovered. It's interesting. It's really interesting as well. And I think I feel very drawn to people who are understanding of their own hearts, and the people who, it's like, because I've witnessed myself pretend to love myself, it's so clear when I can see it in other people.
Yeah, that
It's
pretending, right?
It's so it's being mirrored to me when people say that they love themselves, and I'm like, I can see you, and I can see me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like this, I can see me in you, and I can see yourself in you, because we, like, I mean, like, and I guess in those spiritual concepts, we are one. And everything is a mirror to yourself. And at the same time, it's like, that's not my journey.
And it's not your place to say that to them either.
It's interesting that I'm still battling that, because I'm like this. I feel like it is my place when you are diluting my love.
Yeah.
When you are in proximity to me and you are diluting my love so that I can dim my love to be in proximity to yours, it is my place.
I would challenge you to say, is it your place to enforce your boundaries, or is it your place to what I heard from that was it's your place to tell them that they are doing something wrong. I'm asking, was the intention of that it's your place to say this is what you're doing and this is how it's affecting me? Or is it your place to say these are my boundaries?
Both. And it's because I've spent so many years assimilating.
Yeah.
To that.
But then are you asking them to assimilate to you?
In radical self-love, yes. Because the other option for me would be to allow that to make me feel like shit. And for me to bring myself down to that person's choices. And I'm like, that's not me. Your choices are yours. And if your choices is going to detriment the workflow that's coming through me, I will stand up for myself. I will voice myself with the consideration. With the consideration that you are in proximity to me. If you are in proximity to me. If you're not in proximity to me, I'm like this. I'm going to look like a dick to people who are not in proximity to me because I love myself, and that's okay by me.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're in proximity to me, I will find nice choice words to be like, you are beautifully on your journey.
Being a dick.
But I'm like if I see a mirror though, I straight away converse with me.
Yeah.
Straight away converse with me. Especially it's like I'm learning harder and harder that the mirrors are very fucking reflective.
Yeah. And that last bit you said about they're on their journey, it kind of relates to that last piece that Rose said around when someone shares their voice and their truth, it allows us to reflect and position where we see ourselves in the world. So that seeing that of them allows you to position yourself in proximity to them.
And various spaces, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only other thing that I would add to the mix in that conversation is it's taken me ages to try and figure this out for myself. And then also it's gonna take me the thing that I really have an internal conversation about now is in terms of the narco conversation is because I always hear this phrasing, oh, that's it's change doesn't happen overnight. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that word, that phrase completely, because I'm like, I understand how different places and spaces that's so befitting. I mean, obviously, you can't just plant a seed and they'll just grow overnight. I mean, well, who knows? You can with the right science and with the right control measures and whatnot. I'm just I'm at a point where I question everything.
Yeah.
And that's a healthy relationship that I have with myself, and I would never make that be a thing that I expect of other people. Because my partner, right? Me and my partner have had some really choice conversations lately where I've been like, hey, these are my boundaries, and I'm still figuring out myself, so I don't expect you to do that. And the best support that you can do for me is to actually work on yourself.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, I don't need support for the mental games I'm having. What I need is space so that I can have a conversation with them. Yeah. The tribe. But yes, so going back to Rose and to you and to this journey, in this moment, I always have I literally have so much in this moment to thank for Rose. Yeah. And the way that she was able to uffy and show grace to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I met that woman when I was probably still discovering how to speak for my journey and for my story. And I'm at a point where she has been affing me the whole way through. And I'm like, nah. So echoing what you said around like evolving friendships and evolving people, it's a beautiful thing as well. And it's totally a privilege. Totally a privilege.
For sure.
Totally a privilege.
I laugh because Rose has seen me evolve from like a 3-year-old through to a me-year-old.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling.
40.
Whoa.
No, but you should definitely catch up with that conversation, because that full conversation is literally like,
it is on the whole way.
Get your notepad, lessons on lessons on lessons, and like it's kind of like our conversations. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to really be like, nah, that doesn't sit with me at all. And if something does really irk you so badly, like, I would definitely be like, yeah, that's the work that you need to dive into.
Whoa. It's true though. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the mirror is ugly.
That's your face, brother.
I love you.
Love you.
Fuck you.
Bye. See you later, friends.